Verify, because every time I go live, it's never live. What's up, guys? Actually got the biggest viewership here today, which is awesome. We are going to be building out a menu today, and I'm kind of nervous about this. I don't have much of it planned, so we're going to see what happens. Yep, we're live. And make sure audio is working here. Cool. All right, so let me see here. Let's switch this over. This is what we're going to be building today. Okay. I have to build a header. I have some drop downs that's going to happen. I'm going to add the hero as well, because I want to get this kind of set up and make sure that the spacing is exact. So this hero background here is set to a set width, or a set padding here on the gutter. And then the heading is exactly double that space. So I need to kind of set up some global things for this. On top of that, let me make sure chat is up. It just disappeared from me. No, where does chat? There we go. Oh, the whole Etch team is here. Awesome. Glad you guys could be here. I'm sure you guys are gonna have to help me through some things here. All right, so we're going to be creating a dropdown. I actually had a dropdown created. I had a whole code pen for this. It's just a very minimal one, but it was all working. It's using JavaScript, but there was a better method that I found out last night. Actually, Kevin had built out a popover, basically. And I was like, oh, I could probably do that. And I found one by JHey, which if you guys don't follow JHey on CodePen or Twitter, you guys need to go follow him. He does some really great stuff. But he built a drop down using a popover. And I'm like, okay, that it is possible. There's a few considerations, like what if I want this? Popovers is a new API that browsers now have access to basically create a pop-up, but you can use it for however you want it to. And it automatically has a click trigger. So whenever you click on the actual toggle element, it'll automatically open that popover. So it does a whole bunch of work for you. Like you can see this, this has barely any JavaScript here. This actually isn't even for the pop-up. This is for some extra stuff. My version is a whole bunch of JavaScript that I had to create to get that drop down to work. So I'm going to attempt to do a popover and we'll see how that goes. If I have to, I can default to this one that I've already made. So let's kind of hop into that. Let me take a look back here, make sure there's anything else we're going to have some content. SVGs were just added into Etch. So we're going to be able to add some SVGs in here now, finally. And yeah, let me check chat real quick. Not much is going on right now. Okay, cool. Let me get into this. I have the homepage kind of set up a little bit, but we're going to need to add the header. So let's open up Etch here. And let's go to templates catch-all. This is where my header is going to go. We're going to add in a section here. Let's throw this at the very top above my main, and we'll do this header. This will be my div. This will be my container. And let's just bend this real quick. I probably should have named that header, shouldn't I? This is the beauty of having Etch and having access to the code, is that I just gave these names or gave these classes. So I have section, container. I don't want those. So I'm going to select section, press Control D, and it might actually select the next one. Oh, it's not going to. I can actually do Control Alt. Yep, I can do multiple cursors here, and I can just say header. So there's my header. There's my header container. Oh, Control D. That's why it's going to duplicate. Okay. So it's not going to work in the Command D. Yeah. Ah, that's why. So I can do Command Alt, and I can do multi-cursor. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. This is going to be a whole situation. All right. So I got my container here, and let's just go ahead and add in some information in here. So I want to have my logo. I'm gonna need a nav with some elements in there that we'll just kind of use as placeholders for the moment, because I also want to consider mobile. If I can get a mobile working today, that'd be amazing. I'm just not positive if I'm going to be able to. So let's go ahead and add in my header, there's my container. Let's add in an image, or SVG doesn't allow for external stuff. So we're going to do image, and then we're going to add in my SVG here. Okay, that's too massive, but I'm not going to worry about that. And then I'm just going to give this a class of header logo. And let's give this a width of something like 8 rem. Now it's going to be too big, 4 rem. And we'll do a height of auto just to be safe. And then let's go ahead and add in a nav. So let's go to a div. There's two different divs, flex div, which is 100%, or just a normal div. Let's do a normal div because I don't want this to go like 100% on this one. Nav. And there's a couple things. I kind of want to start with this now. I was thinking about mobile. You can use that file with the SVG element. I can, but I can't pull in like a logo if I wanted to. So I'm kind of thinking about future. So there's my SVG icon. Oh, no way. I can actually pull in. Okay. Okay. I can. Nice. Let's pull this back up. Let's give this one the class. There's my SVG here. It gets an automatic logo 64. That's pulling from the ID. Can I remove that from the HTML? I can. Beautiful. Let's add a new one. Let's go header logo. Okay, styling was already there. That's done. There's my nav. I want to go ahead and add. Let's do. See, I'm going to look at my website right now. Let's kind of look at the structure that I built with my mega menu just to see how I've actually done this, because I don't forget it. Don't remember at times how I did this. So if we look here, we've got a nav, a wrapper, and then there's the toggle. And then there's the, basically all of this can be shown on mobile. So this is basically like my mobile item that I can make into the full screen and then have all my UL items inside of it. So let's do that. Let's go and create a wrapper for it. So let's go nav, let's add a flex div. So here's my nav. Here's going to be my mobile wrapper. And then inside that, I want to add in my UL. So let's go flex div. There's my UL. Inside of that, we'll call this lists. So it's my nav list. And then we'll have nav list items. So let's add another one. Div. It's an li. It'll be my list. List item. Which I might have to do one thing if this is, no, it's not doing it. Okay, we're good. You could probably just paste that HTML. That's what Kevin was telling me. I could paste the HTML. The only problem with that is it's going to be a bunch of stuff in here, which I don't necessarily want at the moment. So I'm just going to do it manually. List item, let's add in a link, which I haven't used this the whole time, so I don't know all these things here. List item, link. Actually, no, I don't want the link yet because I want to give these. Here's my nav, mobile wrapper, list. Let's create BEM. Nav mobile wrapper, nav list item. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Let's go and give this some display flex. Flex direction is row. All right, what happened here? Div ul list item. I removed the link. Let's add my link in there. Oh, it's text. Link. There we go. Okay. Now let's do align items, space between. And it's, oops, space between. Okay, it's not align items, it's justify content. I always get those mixed up. Space between. Okay, there we go. Align items, let's do center. Perfect. And let's add in multiple here. And then let's make my list, my nav list. We want to do display flex direction. It's going to be row. We'll give this a gap just for now of something arbitrary. We always come back and fix that though. Okay. List item. Perfect. Now, I'm going to go view this on the front end real quick. There's that. I want my last item to be a button, which we might do in a second. Not a bricks junk. Really cool to see someone using Etch all while Kevin Geary hanging out in the chat watching. Must be like a dad watching. Yeah, it feels like there's a dad kind of like hovering over. He's like, he's doing this wrong. He's doing this wrong. And I'm like, you know, trying not to do it wrong, but I know I am. Okay, we're going to give this last item here an actual button style. So I don't know if I styled my buttons at all. My primary, I have a base color that I set as my actual base here that I have. So let's do that. Let's go and create a button. I'm going to skip that for now. Let's go buttons, options. Oh, actually, no, hold on. Global styles here. Border width. Let's do 1 pixel. Border style solid. Border radius. I want to do 100 VMax just to make it completely round for my buttons. I'll leave the padding for now. I don't think it's exactly what I want. Minimum button size 0. I do not want a minimum button size on these. And let's go to options. I want my base to be available for me. And then I want background to be base, text color base ultralight, border color base. Yep, perfect. That's fine. Okay, save that. And then I want to extend to the very last item the button styles. So we're going to go global CSS, which I have some fonts loaded here. Also, shout out to ACSS for the navigation thing. This is so nice that I can add navigations here. I can do triple slashes, and then I have a whole navigation. I can navigate between items. So if that's open, bam, I can go down to my buttons. There we are, down to my buttons here. So really, really nice. I can collapse it too. Cool. Oh, extending the styles. I don't remember how I do this exactly, so we're gonna go to automatic CSS and mix in. Oh, am I covering stuff? Good idea. Thank you so much. Let's go back to that. Can I dock it? I can dock it. Okay, button variables. Nope, that's button variables. Where's my mixin? Button mixin. And let's go include button primary. So I want a base one. So let's go to style my last element here. So we're going to go my nav list and my last item. So the direct child, we'll say direct dot nav list item, which should be you don't have to do 2 classes on this. That's too direct. Just direct li. And we'll do last child. And then we'll go add extend button primary, not the one I want. I want my base. Cool. I don't know why it's getting that color though. Probably from the links. Because I have a base like link color set up. Link. That's gonna be too much here. Buttons and links, rules. Add link default exclusions. I want to exclude anything inside my header that is a link. So do not, oops, yeah, header A. Okay, where's that styling? Base ultralight is set color, so why is that not getting it? What's going on there? Color palette, buttons, links, global buttons, my base, text color is set, and it should be getting it, but close on fonts. That include color. Why am I not getting a color on this? Color var button text color. It's being overridden by the user agent. Why though? Target the A instead of the list item. Ah, that makes sense. Target li last child and then target the A. Yep. And now I just got to figure out why it's doing that. Let's go min width is fit content, which is probably the oh, you know why the li is too small. And we'll go white space, no wrap. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it was doing that, but it was. That should be all fixed now. All right, cool. Now my last item is a button here. Let's go ahead and go to, actually I'm gonna refresh just so it pulls out that information. Oh, did I not save it? No, I saved it. Edit, catch all. Okay, there we go. That scared me for a second. All right, cool. Let me see. Set the link color in CSS for your header links, and you probably need to display flex the links. Oh, display flex might be an easier option. I'll work on that later. Okay, let's go ahead and get the container set up. I haven't really used this yet. Padding, let's do space S for that. I want to do the border. Let's do border radius of 100 VMax. I want that to be round. I want my border to be, where's my border? Border block width, border block color. I've never used border block. 1 pixel, border width, block style. Yeah, I've actually never used border block before. 1 pixel, solid var border dark. Save, and I always hate that I can never see the border that's going on here. Okay, where's my padding? Okay, it's there. Border color dark. Oh, I could just do border dark. I did not know I could do that. Learn something new here. Save. Var border dark. Perfect. Okay. I want this to be a background color var BG ultra light, just to be safe. I want to have a box shadow var box shadow M. Okay, I got a box shadow now. Let's also add some offset. So if I go in here, button mix in. So let's go yeah, I want some, okay, so I want to create this offset. I have a global kind of set gutter for these backgrounds, and I want that to be double the spacing. So let's go and do like a margin on this. So let's go to automatic CSS, and I want to, there's my fonts. Let's actually push this down. No, we'll keep it there, and we'll go globals. And then I want to set a, on my root, let's set like a background gutter. That can always change later, but we'll do background gutter for now for like var space S. Let's save that. And then let's go ahead and apply it to my, oh, don't take that out. No, don't take that out. Shoot. Thank you. Header, go away. Okay, let's add a margin to this. Margin block start of calc. Let's do my var background gutter, and then let's times that by 2. Okay, so save. So now if I go ahead and go into here, and I can say, you know, on my home page, let's add this, and my section, I'm going to call this my hero. There's my hero container, hero heading. Let's just go ahead and give this a bem. Okay, and I'll say that I have a background element. So let's go in my hero and let's set this to position relative. And let's add in another flex div in here. This can be like my, I don't know what I call this yet, my background for now. And let's just give that a class of I'm just gonna do background. You know what this is? It's like a shadow. I have shadows in here. So I'm gonna call this like shadow container. Background shadow background. I hate naming things. Background shadow box. Sure. Background shadow box. And this is going to be position absolute. And we're going to do a inset of 0. And I want to make my hero actually a min height. Oops. We're going to go min height of 100 SVH. So small, the smallest available room, give it 100 SVH, give it the height and stick with that. And then we're gonna go ahead and say, okay, the background here is a background color var BG light. And I wanna go ahead and create a Z index of -1 to put that in the background. And the inset, I actually want that to be var background gutter. So now we have that gutter there, and then let's create a border radius of var radius. Oh, also, does this have variable completion? It does. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna go check out chat real quick. I'm probably moving way too fast. Okay, that is not overlaying. And I have something that is pushing it out of bounds here, which it's probably going to be inset. What happens if I set this width to 100%? Why is that overflowing? Min height, position absolute. This is position relative. This is position absolute. Why is my background shadow going past? I'm not sure. Let me check it out. Border color dark. Okay. Everybody will be able to create those global variables in Etch soon. I can't wait to have global variables. That'd be really, really nice. Special technique of shadow boxing. All right. I don't know. Inset background. Is it still giving me the overflow here? Max width 100%. Instead of 0. I'm just gonna do margin on this. I don't know why. I'm not gonna overthink it for now. Let's go to this. Where's my home page here? This is my home page. We're not gonna go inset of that. We're just gonna go inset 0, and I'm gonna set a margin of background gutter. Okay, that might still give me the exact same problem. It's giving me the exact same problem. I'm gonna cheat. One sec. I've already built this kind of thing, and I'm trying to figure out why. My hero container width height. The width set to 100% of the section. Section has. Oh, it's because I'm using a different method here. You know what? I'm not going to stress it right now until I can sort out everything else first. And then let's actually change. Let's go change that to. I'll go fonts. Let's go here. Change that to M. And let's set our header to also have position of fixed. So header here's my header. We're going to go position fixed. Okay. And we'll go top 0, left 0. Left 0 and right 0. Just to be safe, save it. Okay, we're overlaying there. And then I don't know what happened to my... All right, what happened? Hero is there. I'm going to save this again. Oh, is it because I have 2 open? So it's like saving an old version. Kevin, I don't know if you're seeing that. It's margin inline. It's inset. Without it, you won't have any. Okay, that's why then. Let me go back to my background here. Let's not do inset. Let's just do height of 100% and width of 100%. And let's see if that fixes it. And let's do a margin. Save. Okay, so my header is not set to position fixed. I think it's just because I have multiple open. I realized it'd be nice if a CSS global CSS. Oh, 2 instances open is dangerous. Okay. All right. So let's close this down. Okay. So this one by default, it opens up the home page. I want to go templates, catch all. Okay. Header, position, fixed, not flex, fixed. And then we'll go top 0, left 0, right 0. Okay, save that. Let's view that on the front end. Cool. I want to go ahead and set this to like a Z index of, let's go 90 for now. Just to make sure it's above everything. And then what I want to do is I want to have this automatically offset. So let's go. I also hate that I have the admin bar. Hold on. Admin bar, hide admin bar. Only affects browser. I'm going to refresh and see here. Perfect. Okay, it's gone. Let's go ahead and set the header height. So I'm going to go computed. My height should be, I want to say it's 116. So we're going to go back to automatic CSS. Let's go to a header height. We'll go 116, offset automatically, save. Okay, and now we're offsetting. And now I want to figure out this here. Section hero, background image. Wait, why? Position relative, position absolute. I think you do inset, you just need width 100% in combo with max width 100% most likely. Possibly. Why? But why though? That's my header. I don't want to be in the same. Let's go back to save. I don't want to lose anything. Back to post. Okay. Here's my background. Inset 0. Height. Max width. 100%. I just want to say my inset is background gutter. Yeah, so you guys get to see live troubleshooting of issues and why things won't work. Oh, whatever. I'll figure that later. Okay. I actually want to, if I'm very perfectionist when it comes to things. Like I want to make sure that things look like decent. So like this is even misaligned here. So like this is too much. I'm going to do double. So it's like 12 padding on top and bottom and right, but I'm going to do double that. So let's go 24. And just to make things look more aligned. So let's create in my header, Let's go. So here's my hero. No. Templates, catch all. Okay. Container. Let's go add, let's add my header here. Let's go to, I want container padding of var space s for now. Actually, no, m, because I think I have m set to 16 pixels. So let's just do space m for now. And then we'll go here and we'll say on my padding block, I want the container padding. And then on my padding inline end, oh, why did that not? Container padding. There we go. There we go. Okay, on the end, I want the same thing, var container padding. Okay, and then on the padding inline start, I want the, oh, can I do container padding times 2? No. But can I do container padding that times 2? Yes. Okay. There we go. I don't want that to be space M, so let's just go space S. That's looking better. Let's take the logo. I actually want this to be smaller, so let's go like 3. That's looking okay. Let's go like 2.5 just to make everything match. Because I'm a stickler for the spacing here. I want to go the container. I want to do a max width. Let's see here. Let's go max width of like, oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, what did I just do there? What did I do? Okay, it's, wait, back to the templates, catch all. We're solid. I want to change the width of this. The width of all my content is just far too wide. If I go back in here, what's the width of my, this is probably the width of my content here. I'll make an executive decision. This is going to be the width of it. 1199. So 1200. So we're going to go layout, website dimensions, 1200. Save. Okay, that's going to be automatically updated. Cool. Inset 5 pixels. Oops, can't line break the chat. Inset var width 100%. Max width 100%. I think it's just a dumb browser calculation issue for the size of the box, but easy to fix later. You can do the calc the first way you tried it also. I think there's a debouncing issue and it doesn't autocomplete if you type too fast. Okay, so that might be why. Oh, okay. So when I refresh, it takes me back out of the template and takes me to the home page. Little bug. I'm sure that can be fixed. Let's see what's next here. I want to figure out let's create a base link style. So like if it's not, oh, I haven't tried, there's a new dynamic class addition. So like saying, let's go to my list here and we'll go, I think I wrap it like that. I don't know if I'm wrong here. We'll go nav, dang it. Having a microphone in front of your keyboard is not always the best idea. Nav link, let's do the direct li, not last child, and let's target the links inside. Not just the links, because there's going to be drop downs. So I got to think about this. I don't want to just target the link that's inside of the children list item. I want to only target the very first link. No, that's not it. How do I do that? Kevin, I know it takes you 15 seconds. How do I add in the... I thought it was like that. Or do I just do, you know what? Why? Command backspace. You know what I'm trying to do here? Okay, so let me make sure this is working here. Command backspace. Okay, it's just I wasn't in the drop down, and so it was like, oh, you want to delete something. If it worked, the selector will be on the thing it targets. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I've done that correctly, it'll go to the actual link. So I'm going to do that again. Nav list direct li, and that's not the last child, and target that direct link add. And then if I go here, interesting. Okay, so it's not, it actually targets the actual item. Okay. Can I edit this? Style manager, custom. If I just change it, actually, if I just change it here, no, I can't. So if I actually change this, because I know I'm going to want to target the drop down later. Can I change that? No. Confirm rename. Confirm rename. Here. That just. Okay. Yeah. Not what I want, but. Perfect. I can rename it later. So I can actually target. This, what I want to do is I want to say like only target my links. And I also want to target the drop down once I actually have it made. So I want them to look the same. They have to have the exact same color. They have to have the exact same padding, all that kind of stuff. I want to make sure that that's already done. So we can adjust that later. So on the link, on this target, let's go color var text dark. Let's do text. What is it called? Text decoration, none. And let's go font weight. Var button font weight. I want it to be the same as my buttons. I want to make sure that's actually correct. So let's go inspect here. If I can actually spell things right. Button font weight. Cool. And then so these should have the same of font weight, text font weight. Did I save it? Oh, you know what? I wonder if this is another bug. It's here, save. Let's refresh here. No, it's not getting the styling. Selecting the selector says to select. That's cool. Yes, you can edit it. Okay, so there's some bug stuff happening right now. Click me. Text decoration, underline. Etch reset. All right, so we're not going to do that for now unless focus transparent. Your button font weight is 400 too? Yes. Yeah, it should be 400, but it's actually not even getting any of the styling. So my link should be dark, which is showing here and no underline, but it's not even getting any of the styling applied. So I think it's just something with this selector, unless it's because I used this and it broke it. That's the only thing I can think of. But it's there. All right, so we're going to go instead, just go to my nav list and we're going to say Can I? Oh, I can. So nice. You know what I don't like in bricks is that I can't just do like the double slash to comment. You have to do the actual commenting thing. It's really annoying. But let's grab my selector again. Custom. Let's just take that, go back, and then let's slap that in. I want to do the direct li EA, and this will be my, let's go link styling, and we'll go I don't know. Okay, now I can't even, there we go. Background color red. No, it's not targeting it. Is this doesn't have, does this have support for, oh, I have to do and, duh, because I think it's also for CSS, not just SCSS, but also CSS, you have to use the and. So background color red, I believe anyways. I'm gonna check this real quick. I'm guessing the comment style is breaking things because it's not SCSS. Oh, okay, so it is the comment style then? Yep, that was it. And I'm pretty sure I still have to use the and. Yep. Okay. We're gonna go color var text arc. I probably should just be copying this. Let's go over here. Let's take that. Let's copy it. Let's go back to my list here and paste that in. And let's tap that over. Let's go and delete any of my styling here and delete that. No, delete that. Okay, you can't. That's fine. I don't care. Well, I kind of do care. Custom, delete. I always say I'm not going to do something and then I do it. Now we should be solid there. Okay, let's figure out how I'm going to do the, oh, there's no gutter on that. So let's go back into my header here. Let's add in, I want to try this again. Padding block, padding inline. We're going to go gutter from automatic CSS. That should just give me the gutter that I need here. Okay, we're solid there. And then I want, let's create the drop down. I'm a little nervous about this, but we're going to do it. You don't need and in vanilla nesting change the actual CSS comment style. Right click delete. Okay. Oh, right click delete. Got it. And I don't need the and. I think I do. I don't know, because it's, unless it just unless it doesn't like the comment at all. But I think I need the end. It's like CSS. I thought it was like SCSS. How to nest in CSS. You gonna show me a nesting instance? No. All right, whatever. Shouldn't be needed. That's weird. I don't know. I didn't think it was either. That's why I was like doing it without it, but maybe it does. Or maybe you guys have SCSS working and that'd be pretty cool. Okay. I'm dreading this. The drop down. So I have one created. We're gonna skip out on that. We're gonna create one using this. So what the basic premise is that there's a button, there's a div with a popover, and there's popover content. All of this I don't want, so let's condense. Actually, I do want the UL. I don't want these buttons here though. So let's remove all of that. And I don't actually, we'll just remove any of this stuff. Anything that's inside the UL. LI. Yep, remove all that. I just want, I don't even want this bare link. Get rid of the bare link. Give me this. So we're gonna copy that just straight from CodePen. And we're gonna go to here. Here's my list item. Let's add another list item. So let's just duplicate this. Duplicate. Let's take this out and let's add in. Or you know what, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna paste it in here. Okay. So I've got something added. I can kind of see it here. Here's my button. There's a span style, span minimalist. I don't need this second span. We're just gonna call this my drop down. This SVG, I'm assuming is that. Let's go to icon noir and let's go chevron or arrow. I'm gonna grab one that I actually want to use here. Arrow, chevron down, copy the SVG itself, go back into Etch. And I'm gonna go, let's actually go to my drop down here. That's the SVG. Let's swap that out for this. Let's take out all this extra XML stuff that's put in there. Oh, that's so nice. I wanted to donate the comment, but can't. Hey, Ruben. Wow, what are you saying? Video would have been done in 2 minutes of breakdance. I knew that was coming. Before I sat down to record this, I just knew Ruben was going to join in and mention breakdance. So, yep. I'm learning Etch as well. Good to hear. Good to hear. You need a selector first. You cannot use the symbol like first in nested CSS. Oh, okay. You need something there then. He is finding out. That is what I really like about Etch, the code part. Just verified in CodePen that not needed for direct child nesting. Odd. Then I'm not sure why I need it. I don't know. Okay, but now we're creating this dropdown. What I want to do before I do anything else, I have my button. Here's my div. This is the pop-up. And let's add, I'm going to li. Does this auto? Oh, it does. It does. We're going to add a link in here. And if I just go to this link here, UI, li, this is my, so here's my pop-up. Here's my content, my list, my link, this link. Oh, is it not by default? So if I add that in that way, does it not give me a, okay, so if I add in a link using just the code here, so if I go, I have to add an actual href. So I'm just testing something, guys. I want to see something here. So if I add in an if I add in a link, there's the link, but it has no property. You probably have to add in the property yourself, like the href. And then the href becomes apparent. Okay. Cool. Let's do hashtag content. This will be the drop down link. Let's do that. And let's duplicate this a couple times. And we're going to see what happens on the front end. I'm not going to style anything. Okay, so check this out. We've got this thing kind of working. Like, so if I click on this drop down, we have some content that's popping up on the screen. I can click outside of it. It's going to automatically close it. Like, this is all in browser. I don't have to actually build a drop down or like a pop-up type of thing. It's already done. And how this is doing it, just for a little bit of education so I can learn myself as well. This button is set to target a popover target of pop. If we go back over here, we can see this has the ID of pop, and we've set, or it's already been set to popover of auto, which I don't know what the other ones are. I just know that auto is like, just give me automatically when the trigger is clicked, which would be the popover target here, it will open up. So That's kind of done for me. What I want to do is now I need it to actually position itself to the dropdown. So let's go and style this. And before I continue, I want to make this a, here's my button div. Let's make this into a component. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these. So we're going to add a div element in here. And I don't know why that's confused. Add a div in there. Come on. Div, button in here, div in there. Thank you. We're going to call this my dropdown. And this is going to be my dropdown trigger. Let's call that a trigger. Let's leave that as a span. Let's leave that as an SVG. I don't need to add actual, so we'll go dropdown. And I'm going to use that. I can use this anywhere. I want to make this like a default element that I can use anywhere on the website. And then this one will be dropdown trigger. We'll do span, SVG, leave those alone. Okay. This is going to be the ID of pop over auto. This is going to be my dropdown content wrapper. This will be my content. And so do I want, when I nest, I'm going to create a nesting. We'll fix that later. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. We're going to go content here. Let's add in a dropdown content wrapper. And this will be my dropdown content. So we can just change this to dropdown. Okay. Think that's solid. Let's save. Cool. I also don't want to give, I want to remove any of the list styling on this, which I don't always remember. Naming things is hard. It is the worst part of being a developer. Honestly, like if things could magically name themselves, like I start adding stuff like with the intent, it just names itself. I guess that's AI, but that would be nice. Okay. Where was I? Dropdown trigger, content wrapper. Let's make this into a component. Yeah, let's make that into a component. It's a dropdown. And I want control of a couple things. I want to be able to change what's inside of it. Dropdown content. Let's actually switch this. Like, so let me check this out real quick. Let's inspect that. That's my dropdown content. There's my UL. What if I just want that to be my UL? Like, that shouldn't break anything. No, it shouldn't break anything. So we're going to remove one element here. My content, let's change that to a UL. And let's throw my links above it. Oh, in there. Okay. I know Kevin's probably screaming at the monitor because there's probably things I'm doing wrong. I'm just positive of it. Div, UL, li. I don't know why the styling went away though. Unless that's why. That's coming from Etch reset. You are, oh, nice. Thank you, Etch. If a list if a list has a class, just remove the styling from it, which I kind of appreciate because I'm probably trying to do something very specific with it. So thank you. If you edit the class name in CSS, it creates a new selector instead of editing the existing selector. You need to use the edit selector feature to actually edit it. Oh, okay. Good to know. So if I go back in here and I search for pop over content. Oh, I have to do dot pop over. Oh, maybe it's just not working now. Pop. I don't know. But pop over content, I don't want. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Is there a rename function? No, it's just delete. That would be nice, Etch team, just to have like a, if I can't change it here, to be able to right click on here and then rename. I'm sure that's already something thought of. Okay, back to what I was doing here. I was creating a dropdown. Chat. Did I mess up? I saved, let me refresh. Let's go back to, oh, my dropdown's there. Edit component. I don't know. There's my content. Okay, let's go back to this dropdown. I want to be able, first off, to change out, like, let's go content here, and let's add a slot. So let's go here, add a slot. We're gonna call this my, let's call this dropdown content. Okay, we'll put that inside the UL content, and then these, we're gonna remove those. I think I have to add them again later, so we'll go save. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna take one of these here. Actually, no, we'll add them in here. We'll go div, and inside that, I don't know these commands. So if I go, okay, that adds as a new, I'm trying to like command click and see what that does. If I go div, like I want to select that div, shift div, no, alt, no. Okay, I don't know how to select that if I click it. So give me a div in there, and then there we go. It adds next to it though. I don't know. I'm being picky. And then let's add a link here. Okay, li link. This link will go to there. I don't actually care. Let's go drop down link, and let's duplicate this a couple times. Bam, bam. Okay. Now I can basically have a drop down preset and pop in any information that I want in there. And that should give me my drop down links that I just added. We're solid. Okay, now this is the thing I want to change. I might want my drop down to not be, my content to not be a list. So we are going to go ahead and go to text, and we'll go content tag. Let's copy the key. Let's go back into my HTML here. And actually I'll go to my content here. I want this to just be my content tag, and I want it to default to an unordered list, but I could change that to be a div at any point if I don't want it to be a list. So right now I have it set to a list. Okay, that does not like me. No, did I do that wrong? I feel like I did that wrong. Edit, props, content tag, props.content tag. Chat, do I need to do command plus add will add as sibling? Oh, okay. You can't auto select the element yet. I don't know that tags, I literally just did it yesterday, and I might have messed it up like doing it now. Okay, so if it can't, do I need to put these in tags or like brackets? Probably not. No, you know what this was? I literally ran into this issue before. I'm going to go tag. I'm going to copy this. It has something to do with like spacing and capitalization. Save. Yeah, it has to do with the capitalization of it. So there's my UL, right? And I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to say, actually, I want this to be div. It's going to work. But, oh, no, it doesn't allow me to. Okay. All right, well, I can't do that yet. Tag div. Darn. Okay. They're not supported yet. All right. All right, no worries, no worries. Let's go ahead and remove that. So let's change that back to a UL. Change that to a UL as well. Okay. So it has to be a list for now. Or I can just say like don't give me a list. So like, do I want it to be a list? Sure. Let's try a toggle. Again, I'm going into territory I don't really know yet. Drop down list. Yes, we want it as a list by default. So I'm going to add in an if statement. I kind of wish I would have had Kevin on the call, like to actually discuss this. Kind of regretting not doing that. Okay. Content. If my dropdown list is equal to true, show this with the slot for dropdown content. Okay, let's duplicate. And let's say if this is false, give me a div. Can it have, wait, what is that? Okay, maybe I can't do, I don't know what, just added something and I don't want to stress it out. Let's go if, is that another one? If the dropdown list is equal to false, let's go ahead and copy, let's duplicate the content inside and put the content inside the if statement. I don't know if the if statements take else's or not. Like, so I can say if this is that, else do this. Like, I'm not sure how to exactly do that yet. I'm positive it does. I just don't know. Okay, so give me a div, and then can I have the exact same slot name as dropdown content, or will it break? That is the question. So we're gonna save. I have dropdown content here. I have it set to a list. Let's check the front end here. Okay, I have a wrapper. There's my UL. I'm gonna say, no, I do not want this to be a list anymore. Will it keep my content? No, it won't. Again, I'm pushing this thing. Div, it breaks it. You can have the same slot twice, yes. Or should be able to. If props dropdown list is enough, you don't need to use the equal true. Okay, I had a feeling. If it's not prop downs list, got it. No else's yet, so I can't do any else statements. But let's try to figure that out. So Waji said that I can go ahead and go to my, let's edit this component here, go to my if statement. I don't need equals true. We can actually just do that. And I can go to the other one and say just false like that. And that should be good. But now I just got to figure out how to say, okay, sometimes I want, if it's true, give me the UL content. I'm gonna, because I duplicated this, maybe it has an issue. So I'm gonna add in a slot and we're gonna give it the same name, dropdown content. Dropdown content. We're gonna save. Okay, it's the same slot. That's what I'm hoping it'll just like take the info and run with it. Like the same exact dropdown. Something broke. Okay. What happens if I change it to something else? Dropdown content, like not list. I don't know. Let's do that. And okay, so I have my content that's here that technically won't show right now. It should not show if I have this turned off. Okay, there should be nothing showing. If I take that and throw it in there, I should have one item. No, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not quite sure what it is. All right, you know what? I'm going to skip it. We're not going to do the if statement stuff right now. And we're just going to do a UL and we're going to stick with that. And we're going to have a content drop because I'm sure I'm doing this wrong. Slot content. There's my, okay, cool. And let's make sure that that's still working. It is. Waji said shouldn't break. We'll investigate. Okay. Thank you guys. Now, what if What if I want this to open on, so right now it only, you know what, let's not worry about the open part. Let's go and give this a class. I think I gave it a class already. Let's go edit component. There's my dropdown, class of dropdown. Let's do display flex direction of row, and oh, no. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. My trigger. I want my trigger to be display flex direction of row. Okay. And my SVG like completely just disappeared. Width, fit, content. Trigger, span, SVG. SVG doesn't have a set width. That's why. So we're going to go to back to my drop down here. Oh, did I not edit this? I only have drop down content now, but for some reason it still has this in there. I'm going to remove it and hope it doesn't break that. Okay, that's still working. Let's go and go to, where am I again? Edit component, button, trigger. Let's go icon size, and we'll go 1M for now. And then we'll say target the internal SVG and set the width to the icon size and the height to the icon size. And again, is this that I have to do a target something? In my dropdown trigger, target the SVG, give it a width and a height. Why are you not accepting min width, fit content, min width, min content? My SVG has a width and a height set of 32 pixels. So max with 100% display block. This is display flex, display row. Let's go ahead and just give this a gap real quick just so I can edit component. Okay, when I click save, okay, that's why. I'm like, why am I not in? When I click save, it takes me out. I got to go back in and fix. Okay, gap. I'm going to do 0.5M as well. Okay, that should give me some gapping. That takes me out of it. Okay. SVG, why are you not? Is my path not taking up space? Waji, I hate CSS sometimes too. This is a pain in the, it's just, yeah. And then see what happened to this. Why do I have, is it because this is taking up extra space now? All right, we're going to go to my list item, display flex, align items, center, just to get everything centered there. I don't know why. Okay, and then height of 1 rem. I'm just going to set that manually on my SVG. Are you serious? Width? I have a height set on this already and width of 32 pixels. It's in it. No, that shouldn't affect it. It's in the HTML. The view box is set to 24. That's fine. Button trigger. I don't want to target it with a custom class here. I just want to. Let me see here. Span is taking up space. My button has a width set to fit the content that's in it. My SVG right now does not have a width or height set to it. It should. Max width 100%. What's my computed here? Width is 0. Okay, if I change this, let's go width icon size. Okay, what's my computed? 0. Min width. Var icon. Oh, okay, min width. Jeez. Button trigger. And let's target that SVG again. We'll go min width of var icon size. Okay, there we go. And we'll do height of auto. That should automatically give me, okay, take me back in there. Take me to my button. And let's do a height. Actually, just to play it safe, font size. And I have a feeling what would just happen was a typo. Yep, probably was. Anyone have Nick's phone number? Typo alert. Oh, man. Yep, that's what it was. It was a typo. All right. Let's go ahead and go to my button here. Let's align everything to center. Where's my flex? Flex right here. Items center. Cool. All right. Now I have something resembling a dropdown now. Now what I want to do is I want to position this dropdown to actually sit below the button. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to look at this example here by Jay Hay. And we can see here, let's go to the CSS area. We're looking for a popover content. So that's our content that we're going to be using as well. Let's go the popover target. We have to set, okay, so what we're going to do is use anchor positioning. So we're not going to do any absolute positioning or anything like that. We're going to use something called anchor positioning. We're going to position my content according to whatever anchor it is that I set. And so that anchor is going to be the dropdown itself. We're going to go to, let me go check back over here. Popover content has an anchor name of trigger. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go popover content, or on our button itself, we're going to give it an anchor name of trigger. So let's go back in here, edit. There's my button. And here's my trigger. We're going to give this a anchor name of dash dash trigger. That's going to give it a namespace basically. Okay. I want to set my pop. So this is the ID. So my popover itself to a left and a top of the anchor itself, the left side of it. The top of it is going to be the bottom of my trigger. So let's copy this. And we'll go to edit here. Where's my content? There's my content. Here's the ID of pop. And let's change. I don't want to change. I'm not going to change the ID right now. Okay. ID of pop. We're going to do left, left, bottom, bottom. And question for you guys is, for the ACSS team, is it possible to use, no, I was going to say, is it possible to use a property inside of CSS, but I realized that's really dumb. That would be awesome, but I doubt it. I could probably do, let me like a variable inside of here. Like left is anchor left. I'll worry about that later. We're just going to default it to something for now, and I'll figure out how we want to reposition that later. Okay, so check this out. I open it, and now it's right below my dropdown. I think the cool thing about this, if I remember correctly, is like if the content runs into the corner of something, it'll automatically switch to where it's not bumping into the corner. Like it'll swap sides. I don't remember, but I think it does that. But now we have a dropdown set up. Let's set up a animation going. Yeah, let's do an animation. Okay. I don't remember how the animations exactly work. So we have pop, the popover open. So this is the open state. And let's do something on the open state. So by default on the pop, let's do a, it's doing a display of Okay, so we have to transition the display, and the way that we can do that is by allowing discrete, which is what's happening here. Usually we can't transition displays, but allow discrete is being used. And I don't know, can I use, I think I just put that in there yesterday. It's 85%. It's not perfect, but I think there's a way that we can polyfill it for the allow discrete. I know we can do it for the anchor positioning, but I don't know if we can do it for the discrete side of it. So let's go display, pop over content, transition, translate. Okay, he's translating the, oh, I removed a whole bunch of stuff from his thing here. All right, how are we going to do animations on this? Oh, you know what? This I'm gonna vibe code this. Where is there's chat, and I want to create a new one because I want to refer to this in a minute. Let's go to my edit component, copy this, and we'll just say here's my HTML. Create me some CSS to have the content, the popover, show from a lower position, and then on open, it's open opacity changes to 1, and the position moves up. Give me a slight blur change on open as well. I have no idea what that's going to do. We're going to find out. Properties inside of CSS are possibly coming. It's theoretically possible. I love hearing that. That's so cool. We'll have support for it. Dang, nice. Flex shrink 0 would probably work too because SVG has an intrinsic size, but flex row killed it. Flex shrink. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's see here. Pop over, display none. I think it's display none by default. And then on pop over open, it is display of something already. And so what we want to say is the dropdown content wrapper, which is the popover on open, change the opacity to 1, give me a filter of 0 blur. Oh, but where's my, right here. All this is going to be my default. So let's go filter, transform origin. I probably want that. I probably want overflow tape. I'm going to take all this. Let's take all that and let's go to my dropdown content here. Let's target that and then we'll throw that in there. And then on open, so yeah, on open, it's going to be this pop over open. That's not the right chat. Yeah, pop over open. Let's change the opacity to 1. Let's change the filter to blur to 0. And see, I'm worried that's not going to work because of the... All right, let's check it out here. There's my button. There's my content. It is open. Okay, so I do need something there. So let's go back to my content, this, and okay, it's working now, just not the transition, which why isn't the transition working here? Drop down, edit component. Let's go to the content here. So drop down content wrapper, transition opacity. I probably need to add the transition of display of 0.3 seconds. I gotta change that too. We'll go east for now, and then I think it's allow discrete. And we'll close that off. We'll change this to a comma. Save. Oh, okay. So you guys can kind of see that right now. But I need to add the opposite effect. So it works on, it's kind of working on the downside, but why, how do I add the transition on the other way? Do I need to add a transition to, here's hover. Is there a transition when it's actually open? No. I'm going to check out what he's doing here. I kind of have an understanding now of how this is working. So when a popover is open, let's take this and popover before. There's my pop. Where is my open? Reveal. I probably need to add a transition on the same side. That's what it kind of seems like, because this is doing a different animation. There's like reveal and then there's like a drop. Okay, reveal and drop. So I'm almost wondering if I need to add the exact same transition to the default. So let's go here. Let's go to my transition. I'm going to take that and we're going to go here and paste that in. No, something I'm doing wrong there, and I'll figure it out in just a little bit. Just curious if there's a reason you are copying and pasting code into ChatGPT versus using something like Cursor, which does code integration for you. I'm sure you have a reason. I've used it. I've used Cursor. I like Windsurfer. I've used it a couple times. The problem with this is I don't know how it's going to work with Etch yet. Like if it is possible, it might be possible. I just don't know. But that would be kind of cool. Like if it had the code editor inside or something like that. But yeah, just using that right now because I just don't know what's going to happen if I use something like that. Okay, let's, I'm going to have to figure out that one in a little bit. But let's style it. Let's go ahead and go to the drop-down content here. And, oh, you know what? No, I actually, before we style it, let's make sure that base of everything is working. What I want to do is I want to make it so that we like it sometimes for our dropdowns to have a hover effect, right? So like on hover, I want this to open, not just on click. And I think, is this working? Like if I go there and go there, okay, and I go out, it doesn't auto close on me though. So I probably need to change it so that when focus leaves, it closes it. I'm not positive. I know that I was testing some other things on here. So like if I open that, I go to interactive elements and go out, it closes it. What is going on? I'll figure that in a minute. Okay. Focus. I want this to be on hover, and I want to be able to decide if I want it on hover or not. So let's go back into my component here and let's add a data attribute of, let's say data on hover is equal to false. Okay. And actually this needs to be on my button itself. So my trigger, because this is just the drop down. Let's go trigger. Let's go data on hover false. And let's actually add a toggle switch on this. We'll call activate on hover. Yes or no. Let's copy that. I actually want it to be off by default. And let's put that in there. Let's check that on the front end real quick. Data on hover is false. I just want to make sure it's working. Activate on hover. And we'll set that to true. Data on hover is true. Okay. Now we're gonna have to create some extra JavaScript on this to basically say like on hover, do something with it. And so what I've already kind of chatted with ChatGPT on this is that we can target those. Let me go back to the JavaScript on here. So here's the document. Let's go copy this whole script here. I'm just going to throw this into WP code box. This is going to be a new JavaScript. We'll call this dropdown JS. And we'll save it. Okay, hover triggers, document, query select all. I actually want this to query select my, what do we call it? Dropdown edit. Where's my trigger? Dropdown double underscore trigger. So target my dropdown trigger. Hover triggers for each trigger. My popover ID is going to be trigger get attributes popover trigger. That's my trigger. Yep. So get the, basically it's going to get the popover ID from popover target, which is already set. We have popover target as pop, so it's going to get the ID from that and select the popover content automatically. Constant popover document get element of ID right here, popover ID. So it's going to get that stuff automatically for me. Let timeout equal null. If it's not a popover, stop doing what it's doing, but it is a popover trigger, mouse enter, popover show element. So on mouse enter, we're going to do a popover dot show element, and our popover is right here, get element popover ID and mouse leave. Okay, I do need to alter this slightly. I want hover triggers only get the drop down trigger when it has, let's go here, go away, thank you. Get the button drop down trigger when it's data hover equals true. Only target those elements on the page and give me the, oops, right here, and give me the hover effect. Otherwise, do not give me the hover effect. We're going to save it. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go back into my drop down area. Let's duplicate this. So, oh, another thing I want to change too, before I do this, just so I can actually a label. So text, drop down label, default, drop down. And then how does this work? If I click on, ooh, does it change the span? Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. Let's duplicate, and we'll say this is my click drop down. I got to change some styling on there. This is my hover drop down. Drop down is not activate on hover. This one is activate on hover. We're going to save. I have a feeling this is not going to work. Oh, it works. So is my click one. Okay, but here's the issue. I have to target its internal, or it's like neighboring pop-up, because there are multiple pop-ups on the site, or in the navigation. So I got things falling over here. We got to target the, yeah, so if I click this, it's opening that one. Wait, why is that wanted to do it? Well, we'll sort that out. Okay, so let's go back to WP Codebox and pop over target. When the mouse enters, I want to get the neighboring one. So let's go. Here's the, oh, this is the wrong chat. We're going to go with this one. This works, except I need it to get the popover that is the nearest relative. And then what I'm going to do is just give it its edit component. No, let's just say that is its nearest relative. I have multiple popovers on the page. And we'll see what happens there. All right, back to chat. There will be an AI inside of Etch that will do all this for you. Plus, you have to duplicate ID. I feel like I should be reading the chat just a little more often here. Sorry, guys. I'm like in my own world doing stuff, and I realized I probably should be doing that. We got low bitrate. Darn. Okay. container. It's giving me all the stuff. It's going to be a bunch of gibberish. Probably should have given it my HTML. A second example group. I don't know, another click example. I'm almost wondering if I need to, let's do this, because that's going to be a bunch of stuff I don't want to sift through. Let's go. Let's copy that. I'm gonna start a new chat. I want to create popovers that have two different triggers. One, or I want JavaScript that opens a popover on hover when the data on hover equals true. Data on hover equals true. I have multiple pop-ups on the page, so it should look for the closest pop-up ID. Let's do that. Here is some JavaScript I'm already working with. And let's give it that JavaScript here. Okay. I don't know how that's going to work. But while that's doing that, let's just confirm that this is working correctly. Let's cancel any changes there. So I can say, you know what, I actually want this one on hover to work. So let's go view on the front end. Okay, it's working on hover. Oh, kind of, yeah. It's working on hover. But now we just have to get it to work with multiple dropdowns on a page. Let's see here. Hover elements, query selector, data on hover true. Hover elements for each. We want to target the closest popover target. Okay. That doesn't seem like it's right, but we're going to throw it in anyways. Let's duplicate on this. And we'll turn this one not on hover. This is a hover dropdown. Yeah, that's not going to work there. For each element, on its popover target is I want it to be the hover element's data attribute, and then get the closest to the hover element. The closest should be the closest pop-up ID to the hover element. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. That's going to be game changer for Etch. Direct communication with LLMs. Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Okay, let's see here. The closest popover ID. So we're query selecting that. We're getting the let popover ID get element. pop up for each hover element. We're gonna change that because that's a little confusing. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna say for each element. Actually, no, because they're all using it here. Get attribute pop over ID. If there is no pop over, or yeah, if there is no pop over ID, closest trigger element closest pop over target. If there is a closest trigger, pop over ID closest trigger dot get on pop over target. No, it's going to target all of them. Pop. I don't know if I can change it to make it like automatically give it a brand new ID. Probably not. Oh, I'm dumb. It's not the closest. It's its child. Target its child. Its child pop, basically. I'm going to apologize. I am so sorry. Target the child popover that is inside of the trigger. Data hover false, or data hover on true. Yeah, I'm not a JavaScript aficionado. I can dabble. I can understand bits and pieces of it, but LLMs kind of come in handy for this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. Target the child popover that is inside the data. Okay, let's see if it does that. Trigger event, mouse leave, set timeout. Child with ID, query selector. I have no idea if that's going to work there or not. We're going to find out. No. Dang it. All right, let's just do one for now. I'll have to sort out that JavaScript in a little bit. But we have an on hover working. So that's cool. Okay, let's style everything. I'm going to go ahead and do the edit component. Let's go to Dropdown here. Oh, I'm going to refresh. I don't know what happened. And go back to my template, header, Dropdown. And then let's go to edit. Okay, content wrapper here. Let's go and give this a background color. There's my transform opacity. Let's do here. Background color var bg light, ultralight. And we want a border of var border dark. It's the same as the border around this. And then we want the padding, var space s. And let's save that for now. Let's make sure that that's looking okay. Okay, and then I want a border radius back in here. I want to go there, border radius. We'll just do radius. Okay. Okay, I set that one to say, oh, there we go. That's not on hover. And then we're going to go back in here. I don't like that this span is breaking. So we're going to go and span. And we'll say white space, no wrap. That should keep it from going on multiple lines. Perfect. Okay. And then let's go and target all of my links inside, and I want to give them a value, or like a value, a styling. So let's go to my content here. Let's go UL, and we'll target my direct, and direct LI, and then target the links inside of them, and we'll give them a, oh, you know what I don't want? Actually, let me go view this real quick. Okay, so there's an outer padding happening, and there's going to be some type of padding that's inside. And then we're going to be changing the color of it to something like BG semi-dark, or semi-light. And I want, because I want it all to match. So like I want the background color of all of these to match the same as everything else. So let's, like a link hover background color, or like a menu hover, menu link background hover. Yeah. Yep. Let's do that. Okay. So let's go back into Etch. Let's go to my nav here. And we'll say, I want a menu link background color, transparent. I want a menu link background color hover. No, that's long. Var BG light. No. Base semi dark. What are the options that I have again? Color palette, base, semi light. No, let's go light. So be BG light. Okay. So I want all of these to have the exact same background color on hover. And then I want, we'll leave that for now. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. I want to target all of my list items as well, so they're not the last child. I actually do want to give them a padding block of var button padding block, the same as my button here, because we're going to have the same exact styling. So like it looks like a button on hover. That's kind of what I want here. So let's go back to Etch and padding block. I want padding inline to be var button padding inline. And then on hover, so we'll go A, can I do another nesting here? And on hover, let's give this a background color var menu. I don't know if that's the right one. Probably shouldn't be giving this menu link background color hover. Let's just do link, just to shorten it just a tiny bit. And we'll go BG instead of background. BG color. Okay. Let's take that. Let's go back to this background color var BG color. And then on hover, I want that to be my, there we go. Cool. Transition. I'm going to be lazy. All 0.2 seconds, ease out. Okay, so now we need to target, those are all synced, and I actually want these to be a border radius of, I don't know what the, is it var 100? No, I don't know what the radius is, but for automatic CSS, for like having completely rounded things. What's even better about Etch is that you soon be able to build components like this and then sell them without having to be a plugin developer. Yeah, I was actually just thinking this morning, I was like, man, I wish I could package this up and like send everybody the JSON for this. That'd be really cool. Go with menu link BG color and then menu link. Yeah. Thank you, Marcel. Quite literally my thinking too as I was typing it out. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Okay, that should be changing beautifully. Now I want to target the drop down itself. So what am I going to target there? Like I want to target the links, and also if it is a drop down. So direct A, that's not, let's also do the direct LA, that's not the last child. That is the, probably the button here. I could just target the button. If it's a button, I want to be specific. Let's go drop down button. No, because there could be buttons inside the drop down at any point. Let's do drop down trigger. Okay, target that direct, or not direct, but target the drop down trigger and give it the exact same styling. Okay, everything's matching now. I'm going to save this. I'm going to remove the gap. I don't want that gap there on this actual list here because now it's going to look weird. Save it. Okay, but now what if I wanted it to bar radius circle? Oh, good to know. I'm going to change that just so that I can keep that in my my knowledge bank here. Radius circle. Cool. Okay. What if I wanted it to say, when I have this open, I want that to stay the way it is. So let's go to, how am I targeting it on hover? What is the, so on hover, do that. But I also want it to do it when it's open. But it's a button. So when I have this open, does it get anything? I get any attributes? Has? Maybe if the button has the pop and it's open. Yeah, if the button, okay, let me go through this. We want to target multiple stuff here. That's targeted, but also not on hover. If and it has a oh, you know what I can do? I think it's let's go back here. If it has a popover open, let's do that. Etch. If it has a popover open, give it a background color. I don't know if that's going to work, but we're going to find out. There we go. Sweet. Okay. That stays open. If I click out of it, it goes away. Cool. Button has pop open. That's what I figured. Is Nick able to resize the CS area to expose more code? There we go. Sorry, guys. Maybe that'll be helpful for the chat. There we go. Okay. Man, these things take so much time to get right. What else here? Let's target these inside ones. I do want them to have some type of background, and we can use the exact same variables we had for the background effects. So let's go. Ooh, and actually, before I do that, let's go to my nav, and we'll go link transition here, and we want to do a all 0.2 seconds ease out. And then we'll go back to my list here. Okay, let's go back to here and let's go, where's my transition? Link transition. Link transition. Because I'm going to be using this again for my drop downs. So, okay, drop down here. Let's go edit that component. Let's go to my content. I'm going to refresh. Before I do, I want to make sure that nothing I've changed goes away. I got to go back to the templates here, catch all. Let's go back to edit and let's edit the content wrapper. There's my content. There's my direct LIA. Padding. You know what? I always do everything in here. I really want to try practicing this. Okay, what is that? Go to source code, source style. Oh, it shows me if it's inheriting something. Nav list. That should not be inheriting styles though. I still don't think so. So if I click that, go to source style. I don't know where I'm at now. I don't know why. I'm gonna go back there. Okay. Padding block, we're gonna go 0.5 M, and then padding inline, let's go 0.5 M. Oops. No, I have to target. Okay, I can't do that. Just kidding. We're gonna remove that, and we're gonna say that. And then we're gonna go background of a background color of link BG color. And then we're going to go to, I didn't do link color either, did I? I'll change that in a second. We're going to say and on hover. I want to change the background. Can I zoom in? I'll just do that for you guys. I don't know if that helps at all. We'll go backgrounds, color, var, link, BG, color, hover. And then I want to transition, var, link, transition. Okay, save. Perfect. I just need to display flex on the actual content there. So let's do that. And I want the link color too as well. So let's go save. I'm there. We'll go link color. Var text dark. And then I think I went ahead and changed this in the list. Here's the children here, color var text dark. So we're going to change that. You can't have that there. No, you have to type it. There we go. And then it opens it. Okay. Drop down, edit component, div. There's my list. Oh, it's because I zoomed in, so now I can't really see what's going on here. Content wrapper. No, content here. There we go. Direct LIA. Transition. I want my color to be that. And then I want my drop-down content itself to be display flex direction of column, save, and that should fix that issue. Or not. Drop-down content wrapper. Oh, my content is my list here. Display flex. Okay, maybe they're showing right. LA. This hat. Seriously? Sorry, guys. Is that my kids? I got people ringing the doorbell. Yeah, that's my kids. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. Love having 3 kids under 4. Oh boy. Okay. No, I'm not okay, I'm not crazy. These links are not, the height of the LI probably needs to be changed to like probably fit content again. Max inline size. I don't have like a max block size set. My margin block, box sizing, border box. Is that going to cause an issue? I'm just curious if I display flex this. Will it fix my issues? You know what? That'll fix my issues. All right, we're going to go list item. And this is not in my dropdown though. Edit component. UL. And we'll say anything in my LI. And direct LI. Display flex. I'm so used to bricks kind of taking over things for me most of the time. Like things kind of just automatically work like that. Okay, so now we're working. I do want the border to be set on those. So we're going to go to my back in here. I don't, ACSS team, I don't know how I feel about this always. Like if I'm in a component and I save it, it takes me out of it automatically. I don't know. Because I'm constantly having to go back in and like change something again, because that's just how I work. Maybe it's just how I work. I have to go back and forth so many times. I don't know. Just my opinion. I don't know if there's a way to solve that or not without some more discussion. Firefox does not support anchoring. You are absolutely correct. However, I think there is a way that we can solve this. I believe. One sec. Let me. We can do a polyfill, and let's go to. So the anchor positioning, if anybody had just joined, the anchor positioning is kind of a newer CSS thing where you can have an item be positioned to something else. And so this is not an absolute position item. It's actually using an anchor position to position itself. And it's not supported by every browser. However, there is a polyfill for this. And what we can do is I think it's... polyfill supports a small number of options. When using the default, when manually applying the polyfill options, I'm going to do automatically. Let's do the automatic one. We're going to do a WP Cobox, and I'm going to set this back to like 100% here. And we're going to do new snippet. We're going to go HTML. We want this in the head. And we're going to say this is the, wait, that's a head, right? To use the polyfill, add this tag to your head. Wrong one. Front end header. Let's just go scripts. Let's add that to my head. And let's save it. And so now it's working here. Let's open Firefox and see if that's now working. Of course, I have a feeling it won't, because nothing you ever do works the first try. I was wrong. It's working. So that polyfill is already done. Sweet. Okay. We're good there. And then I don't think I have access to putting that in the chat. I do have access. Here's the anchor positioning polyfill. You guys want to save that for your documentation later. It's bad UX. I hate it too. It's already planned to be savable without having the editing context, or without leaving the editing context. Okay. Good to know. Editing the component, having a save button and save and close button could be useful. Editing a component, having a save button and save and close. I like that idea. That could work. Cool. Okay. What else we got? We got our links working. We got our button working. I hate the button space here. And because I've used the variables for the padding here, it's going to automatically do that. Wait. Why is the padding differently here? 0.5M padding block. But why? That's slightly bigger than that, and that's going to drive me nuts. Why is that a different size? Unless the font or the line height is set to something different? Yep, it is. Okay. So we're going to go back. We're going to change the line height to be 100%. It's probably set to like 120 automatically. So let's go back to list item. Yep. And we'll go line height is 100%. That should fix it. Them being kind of just slightly different. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Now what? Let's, I literally just had something in mind that I was going to do. Oh, I wanted to change the padding on this. I don't like the padding. It's too small. So padding block. Let's, that's fine. No, that's not fine. Let's do 1M. 0.75M. I want this to be double. I kind of just always like it to be that way. I like that better. Save. And because we use those variables, the button padding variables, this is done for us. Automatic. It's just so nice having everything work congruently. Okay. Now what I got to figure out is menu does not open on hover on Firefox, only click. Yeah, I don't have the menu set to open on hover. I only have it set to click right now. I got to figure out how to basically allow multiple dropdowns on the same page. So I got to sort out that JavaScript to allow the hover state to work. Right now I just don't have it, so I'm not going to stress it. You can use a calc to make it double, I think. Button line height. Yeah, the chat timeline is faster than the live stream. I'm kind of like waiting to get back to hearing from you guys. What else? I want to take away the, let's go back in here. Let's go to the content wrapper. No, okay, I got to refresh. It, for some reason, does not want me in there. Edit, drop down, trigger. Have I been on this for 2 hours? It's noon. Jeez, guys, we could do this forever. If you guys want me to keep going, I'll keep going, probably for another 30-ish minutes. But if you guys are bored of hearing my voice and hearing me struggle, then let me know. I can stop too. Let me know which one you guys want. Content, padding, button padding block ×2. Okay. Button padding block. It should work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I want them to be the exact same, so I don't want to. Oh, I see what you mean. On the, yeah. I hate that the chat is so late because I have to go back in context. Let's try it. Button padding block ×2. It's going to auto wrap it in a calc. And so if I change that to 2, nice, beautiful. Thank you, Kevin. Even better. All right, Marcel, I'll keep going. Let's do this. All right, we want to have, let me know if there's questions on the popover. I know that might be a little confusing. I think I breezed through that. Oh, what I do want to do is on open, I want this SVG to flip. So let's go back into my button trigger. Yeah. And we'll say, we're going to add a bunch here. Has, I got to do and has a popover open. I want to target the SVG and I want to change, I think it's transform scale Y1. Oh, I had that open, so it's saving that too. No, did that just, okay, didn't overwrite it. We're good here. Inspect. Let me make sure that's even actually, is it 0? -1? -1. There we go. Scale Y -1. It's going to flip it. Okay, so let's go back into my component. Drop down. I want the button. If it has a popover open, let's do a -1. And let's set this SVG to transition transform, oops, form. I don't remember what the transition duration and transition timing function. No, it's the wrong transition there. Go back in. Button. Transition, transform, transition duration might be helpful. Transition timing function. All right. Save that. And now, no. SVG. Transform, transition. Typo and duration. I got that. Why isn't it timing function? Transition timing function. Hey team, what would be amazing to have? I'm always kind of doing this. Like, what was the variable? I don't know if there's a way to like show like a small gray thing to kind of show like, oh, you have access to this. Here's that variable. Oh, here's the button padding. Well, you have access to this variable here of, you know, dash button padding inline or button padding block. And then this would be button padding. I don't know, something to kind of give me like quick, like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Would be nice. When doing transitions, should we not just do transition var transition and then add the rotation in the global transition? Ooh, I don't know. Does this have, I think it's in options. Where is the transition located on here? Additional styling? No. Oh, there's a cheat sheet. Dude, there's so much stuff I learned about this that I didn't even know was available. This is a thing. Classes, variables, transition, button link, button transition. Okay, it's not there. But I didn't even know this was available to me. Grid auto. Very nice. Thank you. I don't know why I've never used this before. And there's recipes. Okay, that's cool. Additional styling transitions. Transitions. Oh, second one. Transition global background. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. You know, I don't fully understand why we can't just do like transition all the time. I think it's just performance reasons. But this does have translate, transform in here. Border, translate. Can I resize this? I can. Okay, good. Yeah, we can just take, oh, it's transition timing. That's why. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do transition timing. Edit component. Where was I? Button, transition timing. Save. Reload. Close everything. There we go. And now it's flipping. Okay, cool. Button links. Let's update those. I don't want any button or the link content here to have text. I always forget what it's called. Decoration. None. I want the border radius, var radius, and then yeah, that's fine. I do want to add like this line in between them. That's going to be, let me make sure I have this down first. I have that working. I have that working. Save it. Okay, I want double the space here. So we're gonna go back to the content, and we're gonna say, actually these ones we're gonna do inline padding, or padding inline, padding block. I want 0.5 em. Okay, and then we're gonna go to this and just literally put in padding block, and then can't have that block there. Okay, the padding inline, I want it to be double what is already preset. So I'm gonna go var padding block, and we'll say ×2. Auto wraps in a calc. Very nice. There we go. That's looking a lot cleaner. And I don't like ×2, so let's go. I have to go back in there. Content. Let's go like 1.5. Okay. I don't want to save it because I want to go back out. I also want to say that I need to add these lines in between items. All right, Steven. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. I'll see you later. I want to add items in between every single, but okay, so I can add I don't want to add a border bottom to every single link item. I want to add an after element. There's a class for this. Automatic CSS has a class for this, and it is divider. That would make this way easier. Automatic CSS docs divider. We are coding a popover menu. Yes. Yeah, we're doing a popover menu and trying to hopefully get to doing a mobile menu. I don't even know if I'm going to get to that point yet or not. But we will see. Divider all. Thank you. Divider all. Let's try that. So here's my... That needs to be on the on the UL. I'm going to try it. We're going to do divider dash all, just dash all. Divider all, we'll save that. Or does it need to be on the, I can check it here. There's a mix-in for it too, I think, maybe. Divider recipes. At divider all, this recipe should be expanded on a parent element. It will place a physical divider between all direct child elements. Mix-ins maybe? Does this show me all mix-ins? Button variables, button mix-ins, breakpoint mix-ins, centering mix-ins. Divider. I think it's dash dash. Okay, let me try that. Let's go back here, edit, back to the UL, and let's add the class of divider dash dash all. That should give me the line in between all items automatically for me. It does. Perfect. Now, let's check this out. How is this adding it? It is adding it as a li. There's my after element. It is doing a display block position absolute, and it's doing a border block end. Right here, inset block end, divider gap ×1. So if I want to redefine this, I probably want to redefine divider gap. So if I go to this and I say, actually, I want my divider gap to be 0.5 em. 2.5. No, 0.5 em. Yep. Okay, let's take that. Divider gap 0.25 em. So 0.5n. This is on the actual list item. So let's go back in. Let's go to my list. Let's go here. And we're going to go divider gap 0.5m. Okay, and that's just going to go ahead and just automatically give me a divider between elements. Cool. I can override divider gap. Yep. Recipes are designed for bricks, so you'll need to fix it. Oh, okay. So there are no recipes at the moment in Etch. Got it. All right, so let's see. What can we work on now? I do want to... Let's add in the icons into these. So let's go... I have my dropdown created. Do I want to create like a... Let's cancel that. There's my divs, my LIs. Do I want to create like another component that has an SVG in it? Although I don't think I can change out SVGs. I think I could change out images to properties, or no? I could use a text field and like give a URL and change out the because it's based on root. You know, I'm just going to default it right now. I'm just going to go ahead and go in here. We're going to go to SVG, and I can change out the SVG this way, which is really, really cool. So let me go back in here. Notion is going to be first. Use media. And then I want the, let's do another, actually, no, let's duplicate this. Let's go duplicate, duplicate. I don't want to do any style. I don't want to add any classes to these. I want to actually control it at the parent level. So like if these are in there, if it has an SVG, we're going to style things a specific way. But for now, let's go my link. This is going to be Notion. My next one is going to be Monday, and click up Monday. I did it again. And there's no Control Z, is there? No. Okay, we're going to refresh. Darn it. Okay, go back into templates, edit. Nav, let me click on this. Drop down. These items, I want an SVG in there. SVG. This SVG will be Notion. This one, we're going to call Notion. We're going to delete this one, and we're going to duplicate, duplicate. Second link, what did I say that was? Monday, and click up. Monday. Click up. We have Asana, QuickBooks. Asana. Oops, this one's doesn't matter, I guess. QuickBooks. And what's nice about can I change the names? I can't change the names, but they are LIs. So I'll just leave that as is. Okay, SVG, that one's Notion. This one is Monday, so let's grab Monday. Monday. Let's grab, what's this one? Click up. Let's grab, click up. This one is QuickBooks. And I think Asana's last. Okay, Asana. Use, save. The Notion one is not pulling in for whatever reason. So let me see here. Notion. Let's try the Asana one and then flip it out for the Notion one. Did I save it? I did not save. Save it. And let's check it now. No. It might just be a poorly formatted SVG on this one. And so, yeah, because I think if I go in here, it's a vector, but it's probably not a very good one. That's probably why it's just it's not a properly created SVG, so it's having some issues there. Let's just go ahead and add the Asana one for now, for the Notion one. Looks like an undo button should move up in the priority. Yes, please move that up in the priority. I would appreciate that, guys. Okay. Perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to say those elements, oh, and it's not in the link. Ah, that's why. We're going to move. Can I put them in the link? No, you can't put SVGs in the link. So we're going to say what we want to do instead is instead of directly targeting the, shoot, because I have my divider. I have the divider on the LI. So if I make the background of the entire LI that color. Yeah, no, that won't work. So it has to be in the LI. Okay. Back to editing this. We're going to say on the UL, I don't want to target the A on this. I just want to do, let's take this and display flex that. We're going to do the LI on that one. On hover of that, we'll save it. Let me just see what happens here. Okay. Then we're going to say we want, oh, I'm not in there anymore. Go back in here, back to the UL. I want to say that the direct, here's my direct LI. Yeah, I'm inside the LI, and then target its direct A, and we're going to do color inherit. And then we'll do text decoration inherit. That should solve those issues of that showing like that. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what? It does look fine. I thought it was going to cause an issue, but this actually looks great. So now we're going to say, okay, if my UL content, there's my LI. I'm targeting the A. Let's target the SVG. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. Target the direct SVG just to be specific in case I do something else with it. We're going to set, let's go. We'll just do height. Height of 1em, width of 1em, and I don't know if I want any gaps at the moment, or if there is a gap set. Oh, let's also set this to be order -1. So I want that to be first. There we go. And let's say on my, darn it, edit component, content. On my LI, it's display flex. Yeah, let's go ahead and go line item center. You know what I'm doing? I'm gonna stop doing that. If I'm working, I'm gonna work here and then just copy the stuff over. Here we go. Display flex. We're gonna do gap of 0.5em, which is looking good. And so now when I hover over these, everything's looking sharp. Okay. Oh, and that's all I need. So gap 0.5em. Gap 0.5em. Where am I? Okay. That's looking fantastic. And why is ClickUp upside down? Wait, no, is that upside down? Where is my ClickUp link? ClickUp, SVG. Yeah, why is that upside down? Because it should be, is everything upside down? Everything's upside down. Ah, you know why? It's, the scale is being applied. Yep. I have to do has popover. Okay, hold up. Drop down trigger. Where's my trigger? Drop down content. There's my trigger. If it has a pop-up that is open, target its direct SVG, not every SVG that's in there. That's why. So here's my, let's go back in the edit component. We're going to go to the button trigger, the has SVG. We're going to target the direct SVG. Save that. And now that should be fixed. There we go. Okay, if I go over that, I can go into and click all of these. I don't know how to get that to automatically close because this is, you know, using the pop-up. What if I want the min width? So it's set to a left. What happens if I set like min width to 100%? No, it's gonna be 100%. This doesn't have anything to reference yet. If I set right on this, and we're gonna go on this pop over, let's go right and set the anchor to the trigger's right side. Is that gonna make it like automatically the size that I want it? No, it's not. There's my pop over. Overflow hidden. I don't have any sizing set for this. And what if I do 100% now? It's still going to be too big. Trigger. So there's my trigger right side. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to probably make it fit that width there. There might be a way. I'm not 100% positive. Yes, you can add the SVG to the link. Still absolutely loving what I'm seeing. Etch team, you have done such a great job in the super early stage already. Honestly, I honestly believe that if they were not having to wrestle with Gutenberg and having to integrate it with Gutenberg, this would be like 5 times further than it is. Just getting like spans to work and the SVGs to work inside of Gutenberg is a pain. So without that, I think they would have been so much farther than they already are, but they're already moving exponentially fast. So you can add an SVG in a link. Show the people you can add open attribute manually in Builder to see the popover in Builder while you work. Oh, why didn't I think about that? Thank you, Kevin. Because I've been going back and forth this whole time. So if I go in here and I go, I'm opening my that slot. I'm not in the component. Edit component. I drop down, and I think if I go to pop over target pop. Actually, how do I set that? Add the open attribute manually in Builder. There is no open attribute. I was pop over auto. Yeah, there is no attribute that I can add that is going to open that. Unless I'm wrong. I might be wrong on that. Maybe there is a way to open that in the Builder. You can add the SVG to the link. So I'm going to go ahead and, so if I go to a link here, let's go to my back to this. Everyone's saying I can't add it to a link. Can I slap it in there? I can't slap it in there, right? No. So what I need to do is I probably need to go to every SVG and move it inside of the link. Whatever the thing that gets dynamically to make it open can be added manually, but I didn't see every step of, okay, of how it was built. Yeah, that'd be why. I just don't have any data attributes to add to it. It's all done automatically. Okay, I don't like how slow that is. Let's go back in here. Let's go to the content or the trigger. No, block, it's locking me out. Okay, back in here, back in here. You know what? I'm going to say, let's just say that's finished. I'm going to see if I can get the mobile side of this thing to work. So we have something set up with our menu. I want to create a toggle. I'm gonna stay on for 30 more minutes. Whoever wants to stay, we're gonna try creating a toggle so I can have like some type of mobile thing working. So we are going to say I want to create there's my mobile wrapper. Here's my nav. In my nav, do I want to do it in my nav? I probably want to do it outside of it. I'm gonna inspect real quick, looking at what I already have. Yeah, it's inside my nav. So let's go ahead and let's just do that. Let's go. It's add a toggle element. So I'm gonna add a button. I don't think I have a button by default, but I can go link and just change that to a button. And we're going to add, it already has a click me. I want this to have a span that's hidden or an aria. We can add an aria attribute to this. So let's not have any text. I know we're not supposed to technically do that, but we'll go aria label. Oh yeah, no, we want aria label equals open menu. Let's do that for now. And then I want to have, I think I have a menu icon here. I do. So inside this button, let's add, this is in Codebox. I don't know how exactly this works yet, but we're going to add, I think it's just the menu icon. I don't need the container class. I just need that. So we're going to take what he's doing here with it, and we're going to throw this into the button. Okay. So I got a div, and we'll change this to hamburger icon. I guess menu icon's fine. That's fine. Got span. And I want this. I want to be able to target. So we're going to do data. So basically like on click, I want this to do something. And when I click this button, I guess I should style it because you can't even see it, can you? We're just going to call this a toggle. We'll call it menu. Menu toggle. Okay. There's my menu toggle. There's my menu icon. And on my menu toggle, let's see here. What do you got here? Menu icon. Right here. I don't know what he's doing with the include center. Mix in center, margin, auto, position, absolute. He's doing that on the menu icon. Let's just take span. I can't do any of these includes. Ooh. Span, position, relative, display block. I don't know why. I'll just change that from I won't be doing the transition. I'll just do it differently. Let's take that span. Let's go to here and we'll say, throw that in. We'll say and span. Because I don't think you know what? I probably can't target span. Yeah, I can just target like that. I don't know why I was having to do it any other way before. Okay. Position relative, and we'll do oh, I see. Ease out. We'll just do all ease out for now. Let's change that to ease out. Ease out. And we'll change this to a transition. That's that. Okay, we're good there. Transition. And first of type top is -3. Okay. Let's see what else we need to pull from here. There's the active. So like if this is active, do something with those. So we're going to take that and let's go back to Etch and we'll say, okay, there's my span. Here's my active state, target active spans. Okay. Cool. So right now we're not going to see anything happen. I do want to change the icon color to be var base. And then we'll go to background color, icon color. There, close that off. Okay, there we go. And we're not going to see anything happen right now with that button. What I want to do is I need to toggle a couple things with this toggler. I want to have this be a component. So let's let's make this a component. This is going to be a toggle. Yeah, let's make it a toggle. And I want, I don't need any text in there. I do want aria label. So let's go to my component. We're going to add some text and we're going to call this aria label. The default will be open menu. Okay, we're going to copy that and we're going to slap this in there. Okay, props aria label. I want to do a couple of things. I want to target the element in ID. Let's do an ID element. So like data, when this button is clicked, we're going to target an element and do something with it. We're going to probably toggle a class. Let's toggle a class on that element. So let's go data target, or this will be target element ID. Oh, I can do spaces. No. So if I click, control backspace or command backspace to try to delete a whole line, if I'm not in the input, it deletes the element. Okay. Where is my, no, my button's gone. Don't forget to give some padding around the hamburger menu. Yes. Do you agree with Free Palestine? Why are we talking politics? Okay, let's go. I'm gonna do it for 20 more minutes. Let's add another button back in here. Here's my mobile wrapper. Let's go back in there. Let's add a div. This is gonna be my button. This button is gonna have an aria label of, equals open menu. This button has the span, and you go back in here. We're going to add the span here. Take that. Go back in this one. Add that inside. And then we're going to give this the class of, what did I call it? Toggle? Toggle something? Oh, it's not going to be saved because it didn't save it. That's right. So let's give this a class of, just command enter, of toggle. Let's just do .toggle. No, I think I said menu toggle. Toggle? No, I can't search that right now. I don't know. No, it is a toggle switch. It's a toggle. And I can create an if statement on if I want to show the menu icon. We'll do that. We'll create an if statement on if I want to show the menu icon. Because I might not want it to be an icon. I might want it to have something else, but we'll just call it toggle for now. Leave that as is. Let's grab this again. When it is active, do this include transition. I'm going to swap that out. For CSS, transform, we will go ease out. Okay. Include transform. Dang it. Let's at first type transform rotate 45 degrees. It would be so nice to have SCSS included in here. Transform negative. So let's do that. Negative 45. And then on the default span, let's grab whatever he did in here. Default span. Let's do that. Oh, go back. Take that. And then I got to change the transition again, which I think is the exact same as this one. So I'm going to take that. I think transform top bottom. Yeah, I think it's the same. Background color, we're going to go icon color var base. And then we're going to take the icon color and do that here. Okay. Cool. transform and first to type top -3. There's no more like other things in here that could cause issues. I don't think. Cool. I'm gonna save it. Okay, there's my toggle. Okay, now let's go back into this. Let's make this the toggle. Here's my menu icon. So menu icon, and there's my spans. We're gonna create a component, and it's toggle already. We're gonna add the aria label. Aria label default is open menu, and then I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna go in here. Where's my aria? Throw that in there. I want to do a target element element ID default value. I don't have a default value. I don't have a, let's leave it. I don't have a default value right now. I'll have to figure out how we want that to work, but I want it to target. So we'll go data, target element, and we'll go equals. That's the target element ID. And then I also want to do did it again. Oh, no. Did I saved it, right? Please, I saved it. If I didn't save it, I'm probably gonna call it. Okay, I saved the button. Okay, toggle. Menu icon. Let's create component, and then I'm gonna add these and then just save it right away, so I don't do that again. Aria label, and then we're gonna add a target element ID. Then we're gonna add a the class. Like, what do we want to toggle? Like, we want to toggle a class. So toggled class. The default will be open. We're gonna toggle the open class on. I don't have a target ID yet, so I'm gonna leave that blank, and we can fill that in later. Default value is open menu. Okay, and we'll go to my toggle here. Here's my aria label. Let's copy that. Let's send that in there. I want a data target element equals target element, and then I want my data target data target toggled class. Sure. I'm not going to make it overcomplicated. Save. Okay, on my button as well, I think I want to go ahead and add a little bit of padding to this and see what happens. Let's go padding of 1 rem. Sure, I can adjust it later. Let's just add some, and let's add a border of var border dark, just so I can see it. Save. Okay, I can see it. Now we need to create some JavaScript for it to do something. But let me see what's going on here. Thanks for showing us your workflow. Glad it's being helpful for you guys. Well, let's see here. Don't forget to give it some padding around. We'll prioritize undo, redo soon. Sorry. No worries. Navbar toggle. Thank you, Kevin. Has been a source of frustration for me. I make too many mistakes that need to undo. Okay. I imagine it's not simple to achieve. It's technically challenging. Nothing to do with this video. Not the time and place. Yeah, exactly. If we're having a personal conversation, we can talk about it, but we're not doing that here. Is the keyboard shortcut doing that? Yeah, so the command backspace is doing it. Command S does currently save, but it forces the component editor to close currently, which sucks because it's closing the component editor, which is why I'm not saving it. Top priority. Cool. Okay, it looks like they're getting some good feedback from this and gonna adjust some things. All right, so now I want to create some JavaScript that says, okay, look for any buttons with the class of toggle. And I don't have a target element. Let me type this out. So we're gonna open a new chat. Let's do a new one. Create me some JS that targets a button dot target element, and when the button is clicked, I want the class of dot active to be toggled on the button dot target, so on itself or on itself. So we're gonna on itself. So we're gonna toggle a class of dot active on itself. That's the first thing we want to do. Then I want the JavaScript to get the target element from the data target element attribute from button dot toggle from the button dot toggle, and then and on, let's see, then I want the JS to get the target element from the attribute from the button dot toggle, and on click of the button dot toggle, I want to toggle the class on that can be sourced from the button dot toggle attributes of data target. What did I say? What is this here? Data target toggled class. Not the perfect name, but whatever. Data target toggled class. All right, let's see what happens. Look at Bootstrap 5. Oh, I need water. Components are complex and you just save a lot without leaving the editor. Yeah, they're a bit complex. Okay. Okay, on quick query selector all button dot toggle for each button event listener click function. Change the active. We're also going to target the target element, which is get data. Yes. And if target element, which is the target element, okay, we're getting the ID from that, get the class to toggle that. So if target element, so if the target element exists, which it's getting it from the attribute, and class to toggle exists, if those exist, change it out. That should work. That looks right. So this is the dropdown JavaScript. I kind of have one already created. We're just going to go and slap it in there too. I can adjust it later and put it all in its own self. Okay. Actually, this is going to be toggle. Yeah, we'll leave it in there. Okay, let's check it out. Let's see if it's working. Here's my button. If I click it, active. If I unclick it, not active. Cool. I want to target, let's see here. Where is mobile wrapper? Nav mobile wrapper. So what we're going to do is we're going to target that and give it a class of .open. So I want to target, let's go mobile wrapper. Let's give this a ID of mobile menu. Okay. And we're going to say on my toggle, let's target the element ID of mobile menu. And we're going to toggle the class of open, which I think by default that should be displayed. Edit component. Probably not, because I didn't toggle class. I did put it in there. I put the props in there. Okay, so save it. and let's check out if it's actually going to be doing anything to this. So open, not open, open, not open. So now I have this toggle component that I could quite literally use anywhere to do something with anything. Like I can make it change a class on anything else I want it to. That's really cool. And it's all using like the properties. That's really, really cool. So I'm going to play with it for a second. Really cool. So now we're going to figure out how to, oh, you know why toggle.active, I'm adding it to the button itself and it's not doing anything with this, the menu icon. And the reason it's not doing anything with the menu icon is because, well, it should be. I should be targeting the spans and doing something to the first of type. So let's take a look at the first of type on active. Toggle first of type. Is everything closed properly? Span first, that's closed. My span is closed. Okay, and active for my toggle. Yeah, if my toggle is and dot active span. I feel like I'm nesting CSS completely wrong. Yeah. I'm gonna jet in 10 minutes, but this has been super helpful. Super glad. I probably need to jet it in 10 minutes as well. It's almost 1. We've been doing this for 3 hours. But I think you guys get the idea. Let me wrap this up, right? Styling doesn't work, but let's see if we can get this to kind of work here. At a specific breakpoint, I want my mobile, so basically my mobile nav wrapper, I want it to be position fixed and I want it to be visibility hidden. So we'll say at, let's do, and I'm gonna change this just a wee bit. We're gonna do this in automatic CSS because I don't know how breakpoints work yet in this. So we're gonna say at, oh, I probably need to go back here. At breakpoint of, let's go like right there, 840. Sure, we'll say 840. Okay. At media, width is under 840. I want to do, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it in here because I'm just here already. We're going to do dot toggle display none. That should disappear it. Okay, it's gone. I don't want to do that. When the width is under 840, which I haven't done it this method before. I usually use like max width and min width. So I don't know if I can do it this way or not. When it's under 840, I want to say dot toggle display flex. Okay, I can see it's adding down there. Let me actually just go inspect again. No, darn it, it's like in the way. Okay, it is showing, so it is doing something. Cool. When it's under the width of 840, I want to toggle display flex. I also want to send my, shoot, I gotta figure out what the class was again. Inspect, it's gonna make everything small again. Mobile nav wrapper. I want to display, I'm sorry, yeah. No, position fixed. We're going to do inset 0. So I want to take up the full area. And I want to do this, no, I don't want to display none. I want to do visibility hidden. And when this is and dot open, so when I have that open class that it's going to be added to it, at the smaller level, when it's at the smaller level and when it's open, I want to do visibility visible. Okay. I'm going to save. I'm going to figure that out in just a second. Yeah, there's the max width, but there's a new way of doing things. You can do width like this way too now. Apparently, I just learned that, which is kind of cool. So I think this should be working now. Okay, it's gone. And I press that. Look at that. My menu's back. If I click this again, it should be back. That's amazing. Okay, now what I want to do is set my toggle. So at that position toggle, I want to set that to like a Z index of 100. So I want that to be on top all the time. And then I want to set let's set this to like a background of white. And we'll do a padding of var space M. And then let me see what happens here. Okay, so we're gonna go to smaller device here. It's gone. It's here. Let's see what we can do with this. We want to. Ooh, I want to go ahead and set the margin on this to be what do you call it? Let's inspect here. No, not inspect. This. We want. I want the padding block start. Let's do, so it's overlaying and I want it to have the same exact as the header height. So we're going to do padding, padding block start as my var header height. It's going to keep things out of the way. And then I have I think if I go my mobile nav wrapper and then go to my UL, I want to, flex direction column. Let's do that for now. I'm going to create some type of mobile menu that's just working in like 2 minutes. Let's close that down. Inspect again. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I have this padding set. Padding block start var header height. Why is that not? Oh, it's set to 0 because I have it in header height. I'm just going to change all this to 116. So all of the breakpoints have a 116 value now. Okay. And inspect. There we go. Oh, I got something working. The next challenge is to figure out how to get the dropdown on mobile to operate as an accordion. And I'm going to save that for another video if I do it when I do a live stream. All right, 3 hours. Holy smokes. Okay. Let's see what everybody says. This is so nice. I got a jet. All right, see you, Kevin. Comment is breaking it. You can nest. Oh, it's the comments. That's why. Comments are breaking it. You can nest media queries in Etch. I still don't understand how I'm going to manage media queries yet. Like if I want, I don't know if Kevin's still here, if he's going to watch this later. I don't understand yet how to manage that. Like I want all of my items at a specific breakpoint to do something. So like, let's see, what am I doing here? At that breakpoint, I'm targeting not only the toggle, but the nav mobile wrapper. So I'd have to go to both the toggle, add in the media, go to my nav wrapper, add in the media. And so that's kind of a hassle at the moment. You can adjust nest media queries in Etch. Yep. All right, guys. I really like an off canvas menu on mobile. Yeah. It is kind of nice to have an off canvas. That's what I was trying to create here. We can actually style it later. So like, bam, it's open. Like we've got something going. I don't know. It's cool. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys learned something from this. I know I stumbled around Etch so much, but hopefully you guys learned a piece of good information. I will see you guys either in another stream or in the next video.